Connor, you're on mute. There you go. What's going on?
What's up, guys? How's everybody doing?
Oh, it's been a long hour and a half, fun hour and a half. Yeah, we hung out. It was a couple days ago, and I'll see you again here next week, along with Matt and a lot of other folks. So, what does your business look like today? Your real estate business?
For the restaurant business, or just all the businesses?
I mean, for people, they don't know Connor. They don't know Connor Steinberg. They have no idea who you are. Your real estate business, just in general, what does it look like?
Yeah, mostly it's all EXP now. So, quick rundown of you guys in real estate. I jumped into the investing side of business probably 7-8 years ago now, and I failed miserably, went $100,000 debt, ran out of money, had time, was going on YouTube trying to figure out how to build websites, doing search engine optimization. I was one of the first 2 people on Investor Carrot, the platform. And so I got a lot of time with Adrian Nez and Trevor Mock early on, and Adrian was teaching me about the power of video. So I started building private YouTube channels and linking those to my websites, and I built the #1 house buying websites for a lot of the major keywords here in most of the major cities in North Texas. So I built a big wholesaling company, transitioned to the fix and flips. Not as many as Chris has probably done, but I did quite a few house flips, bought a number of rental properties, transitioned to owner financing, did a lot in the single family residential space. I own land, mobile homes on land. And then along the way, I built my YouTube channel, Investor Army, which is now Texas's #1 residential real estate investing channel, top 15 in North America. Built some consulting companies around this, digital products. And then I had a lot of people blowing me up about EXP, obviously. And for about 2 years, I blew everybody off. I was getting videos sent to me. I wasn't watching them. Everybody's trying to tell me how big an opportunity it was. And my mentality was like, look, I'm sure people are doing great over there. It's probably a great opportunity. People are going to do well. But I'm busy, and my biggest headache is opportunity cost of which opportunities I take now. So I blew it off for a long time, guys. It was a big mistake. It was a multiple 7-figure mistake, probably now looking back in hindsight at things. But finally, I went to speak at a big event in Jackson, Mississippi, and the #1 guy in our company was speaking at the same event. And I stayed in a little speaker's house with him for 3 days. And I was completely blown away when he showed me the EXP business model, showed me he was making 6 figures a month residual income. I said, I want to do that too. And so I set out to go do this. I went and got my real estate license, joined EXP a little, I guess it was December, second week of December, second to last week, December 2017. So we're coming up on 3.5 years, guys. I've been able to grow this organization currently to about 1,250 active agents across 42 states, 7 Canadian provinces, and I think we're in 7 countries now. We're selling hundreds of houses a month. My rev shares are right around $50,000 a month right now, if you guys want to know what's capable of being done here in a short time. And been recognized by the company as one of the top 100 influencers in the company, about to tip into the top 50 here any day now. And so it's been an incredible ride here. And so what most of my time is now, instead of on the investing side, generating leads like I used to, discounted properties, trying to buy houses at discount, stabilize and force the equity up. What I'm doing now is just, I've been able to build these other businesses up where I'm just placing my money in strategic properties that I'm looking for now. So I'm not so much on the active investing side, but I'm still investing, still buying houses here and there. I'm not trying to buy in volume like I was. At one point we were doing 8, 12 houses at a time. Now I'm doing maybe 1 or 2 at a time. But all my time is going into the rev share model, residual income model. So we've got our business up growing by about 110 to 125 agents a month right now. Looking to take that to 200 plus a month. And so yeah, it's been incredible, guys. I've never been able to build a residual income as fast with the lowest amount of risk that EXP is giving us here. So it's not a capital intensive business model. I can't go bankrupt, but I can build financial freedom. And that's the big difference as compared to doing it through the traditional routes that we usually do it in.
Yeah, that's what I tell folks that are real estate investors, like, and even agents too, like, because agents, they should invest in real estate, but at the end of the day, there's risk involved, there's time involved. Like rental properties, it's passive income, but it's not passive. Like it's not passive at all. Even if you have a property manager, you still got to manage them, and issues come up that you'll have to deal with, or pay money for someone else to deal with. And it's a wealth building play. But at the end of the day, revenue share, it's passive. Like, I mean, once that's set up, it's ongoing. I don't have to do anything. But if we stick with a rental portfolio analysis, like, I don't know if you have any numbers that you can share, but how long, and I have no idea what, I know Brant Phillips talks about how it took him a lot of sweat and pain and frustration to build $10,000 a month in passive income. So Brant has talked about that. I don't know if you have anything to compare, because when you look at the time and energy and then debt to achieve that,
Yep.
and then compare it to what has been done with EXP, what is being done, what you've done, what Brant's done, what I'm doing now, it's just so much easier.
Yeah. So it was about 12 to 14 months, I surpassed what my rental portfolio residual income was through RevShare. And it didn't take a debt risk, right? So the thing about rental properties is, I mean, what do most people do? They're doing a traditional fix and finance out. Some people call that the BRRRR strategy, right? So they're marketing on the front side. Cost of marketing has gone way up. As you guys know, deals are getting tougher to get, especially in this market. It's insane right now. So a lot of people are spending anywhere $5,000, $10,000 even, I'm hearing, per transaction that they're getting. So that's the first step of the business. You need capital to grow the business. With what we're doing with RevShare, as long as your goals are big enough, you don't need a lot of money. The unique thing is, Chris, to build this organization of almost 1,300 agents, I've run my numbers. I spent less than $30,000 in business expenses over 3.5 years to build this. So when we're talking about these numbers, these are pretty much net numbers. We have an $85 a month fee of cell phones, some traveling expenses, and some dinner expenses, but there's really no expense into it. So on the rental side, you have the acquisition side, capital intensive. You need to spend money. You're taking a risk. You don't know if the deals are coming, when they're coming, how good a deal they're coming, are going to be when they come in. So then you have the second step. You have the acquisition process, which takes money, right? Not just your marketing money, but real money to buy the property. So you're using hard money lenders, private money lenders, IRA investors, things like this. So you're going to usually get into that deal with an interest-only loan. And that's going to start the process. Now you're going to have to fix the house up. You're going to deal with contractors now, this potential extortion, them walking off the property, ripping you off. And usually it can take, a month to 3 months to do a renovation. And then a lot of times when you're going to go back to refinance out, you got that 6-month seasoning requirement. Then you go do the cash out refinance or an amortizing loan. And then you have the management side on the back end. Now you got tenants, toys, and termites, repairs. I mean, we all know what it's like to renovate a house.
Please.
Yeah, put a tenant in there right after you renovate it in, and they're all moved in, and the first thing they say is, hey, guess what? My plumbing is not working or something, because you just did, huge renovation, so it can be crazy. So you've got capital risk throughout of it, stress risk throughout of it, and then the time frame to do this. Once you stabilize that property, hopefully you have the equity position in play. So you got a good 20% plus equity position, so you got instant equity when you're done. But the cash flow on a rental property is usually $200 to $400 for most people when they're finally get it kind of stabilized out.
And in this market, it's less than that. That's just part of the evolution of rising prices.
Yeah, but I mean, think about that, guys. So if you let's just look at compensation numbers. We're not comparing a human to a house. We're looking at compensation from residual sides. And so a capping agent at our business model here at EXP is equivalent to $2,800 in residual income for the annual year. So if you divide that by 12, I think it's like $233 a month. So it's pretty much, if you sponsor a capping agent, the cash flow is equivalent to essentially buying a rental property. But how much money does it take to sponsor an agent as compared to control an asset? Nothing in comparison, right? So you're avoiding the slow growth. You're not having that seasoning requirement. You're not having to buy a house, fix it up, renovate it, stabilize it, put a tenant in it, and then manage it. You're just bringing an agent in day one. Now, a capping agent is going to self-sustain themselves because they're a successful business owner. Now, what happens when an agent goes out there and wants to build their business? It's equivalent to a house growing legs and walking down the street and buying other houses for you. So when I sponsor Brant, who's Chris's sponsor, Brant's now sponsored, well over 50 people, I think, in the company. It's at one point, I forget his actual numbers, maybe even more than that. That's like a house going and buying 60 other houses, 50 other houses for you, right? So it's like a house sold by house for you, but also we're leveraging this for an investing business, because this house I'm sitting in, I actually bought from another agent on my team. Her husband found this deal, and I actually had this house funded partially by Chris's sponsor, Brant, who lent on this deal. So there's a lot of synergistic nature on how our businesses overlap. But the acceleration of cash flows, there's never been a way to do it faster than the revenue share model that I know of, with the least with carrying that low risk as well.
So you have more agents on your team than, well, I'll back up, because that's a true statement. But so Kobe, who was on earlier, started at 18, got licensed, which is just crazy. 20 years old now. And he even said him, as a 20-year-old kid who's still in college, has more agents on his team than most independent brokerages.
Right.
You have more people coming on your team per month, not in total. That's definitely true, but per month, just new agents joining your team, the most independent brokerages will ever have.
Right.
How is that possible?
Leverage, duplication. So as you guys know, as most entrepreneurs know, the most powerful business model in business today is obviously the network marketing model, which is contrary to what most people believe, which shocks me. But every serious entrepreneur understands leverage and duplication. And so Keller Williams clearly understood this. They introduced this on the level that they did with their 7-level profit sharing system, and it built the biggest company in North America. So if you don't know about Keller Williams business model, they have a 7-level multi-level profit sharing system that allows agents to attract agents and override profit sharing. Well, our founder was top 50 at Keller Williams, and when he built DXP, he dropped overhead substantially by going cloud-based. Now, by not having the overhead expenses of brick and mortar and all the different buildings and all these different management expenses, he was able to model that model, enhance that model, and what we're doing over here is called revenue sharing paid 7 tiers deep. So this allows me to attract an agent to the company, grow an organization like I would normally as an independent broker would, but when that agent wants to attract agents and do the same thing to build residual income, I'm going to override their compensation paid 7 tiers deep. So if I sponsored Brant Phillips is a personal sponsor to me, he sponsored Chris Bounds. Chris Bounds falls on my 2nd tier. And then if Chris Bounds sponsors agents, they fall on my 3rd tier. So you have all these different agents working together in a shared compensation plan, which creates leverage. So I started the snowball. I started attracting a few agents, guys. I attracted 30, 40 agents to the company. I started sharing what I was doing, how I did this, what I say to agents, how I find the agents. They started doing the same thing. Those agents started sponsoring agents. They started inviting their friends and their family and agents that they knew through social media all across the country. And before we knew it, with a small base of agents that I started with, it grew into a massive organization. So I've only sponsored a little bit under 70 people to this company since I've been here, but now we're growing at over 100 to 125 agents a month. So I personally, with my personal success, went out there and sponsored, 70 or so agents. But those 70 or so agents wanted the same opportunity that I had, and they started using the business model that we have here by attracting agents to build residual income. And that duplication has picked up to where we're at right now. So yeah, on a monthly basis, we're adding well over 100 agents, which is insane to think about. And this is doable for everybody. So guys, don't think this is not something that you cannot do. I had a 1st-year agent here that didn't have a real estate background at all. I at least came from the investing industry. So I've been in the house buying business and been in the business for a while. He came from a completely different industry, no skill sets, come in literally 1 year, he's financially free. So this is happening all across the country, guys. It's a huge opportunity. And so, but that's how this would happen. The eXp Virbela cloud-based system is an outsourcing management system for us. There's almost around 900 paid employees in the cloud that I'm not making payroll for. I pay $85 a month. So for $85 a month, I leverage 900 paid employees that manage and run my organization. I have legal broker rooms in every state, accounting departments, tech departments. And if I was to pay these employees on payroll, if I was the business owner wearing every hat, including the risk, this would be a multi-deca-million-dollar payroll that I would have to make each year. So I didn't want to pay tens of millions of dollars, Chris. So I decided I'd pay $85 instead. So it's working out pretty good.
Yeah. Not so bad. Why are the agents coming?
Wealth. You can't create wealth at a normal brokerage. So, you ask an agent, investors understand this. What do investors do? They work for equity. They work for residual income. So when you ask an agent, did you get into real estate to create an income, or did you get into real estate to create wealth? They're like, well, of course I wanted to create wealth. Then you ask them, well, how could you ever create wealth if you're doing what only an income producer can do? So sales is an income model, guys. You're trading your time for checks. It's a great way to create a huge income, much better than a job, but it's not a wealth creation tool. What you make that money, pay your taxes, create a disposable income after that, after your living expenses, and you invest that usually is the way that most real estate agents would create their wealth. They'd go out there, create a high income through sales, pay their taxes, pay their living expenses, take that remainder disposable income, start buying rentals. That's creating their equity, and that's creating their residual income side. So when you look at what creates wealth, guys, there's 4 things that if you study every Deca Millionaire up, they all have this. The first one is multiple streams income, MSI. If you have one income stream, guys, and it goes away, you have no way of creating an income, even if it was a great income, right? Same thing with marketing. If you have one way of bringing in leads and that one way of leads dries up, like people that are buying from auctions a long time ago, there goes your business. So you need multiple streams of income and multiple streams of marketing, which a stream of marketing is an income stream if you think about it that way. So that's the first thing. you have to have MSI. So most brokerages have one way of creating an income. It's selling a house, and that's it. You sell a house, and if you don't have a transaction going, your income stops. Or if you can't trade your time for that income, meaning a life liability picks up, children, grandchildren, health issues, any type of life liability where you can't do this, taking care of your older parents, there goes your income for the year. And also, can you imagine the stress that you're under? So second thing that creates wealth is equity models. You have to have equity. You cannot just trade time for income. So think about how people create equity. Real estate ownership, not sales. Stock awards like we have here at EXP are buying stock. Venture capitalism, owning parts of the business, right? So when you place yourself into an equity position, it takes a little time on the front end, but once that equity position's in place, let's say a stock goes up, did you put time into it to make that stock go up? No, but your increase in equity increased your wealth. So all you guys that own rental properties, watch the market go up. Now it took some time to get that property stabilized, but to make the market go up, you're not putting any extra time in that. You're out there sourcing other deals, working with other agents, or trying to find other deals, right? So equity grows without you putting time into growth. That's why it can create massive wealth quickly for you. Now, the third thing is time and money and residual income. So there's only one thing that'll ever give you the life that you want, guys. And if you want the life that you want, you need both time and money. And time and money comes from only residual income. So residual income is going to give you that freedom. So a lot of people are money free. They don't have time freedom. So you see doctors, dentists, high net individuals all the time, but they're tied to their business 100 hours a week, and they can never get to where they can enjoy the money, right? So the last thing is duplication and leverage. Talking about 900 paid employees, that is duplication and leverage. 1,250 agents. So right now, while I'm talking, guys, I have agents all around the country doing what we're doing right now, trying to build their business. So I can trade my time here because of leverage. My business is growing around me, if that makes sense. So those four things create wealth. MSI for protection, self-insurance, and diversification. Equity models for acceleration of wealth without your time impacting it. Residual income to free up your time so you can build your income past what you're already building, where you don't cap your threshold of how much you can make. And then leveraging yourself outside yourself. Now ask yourself, at most all brokerage models, how many of those components for wealth creation do they have? The answer is none. And that's why they don't create wealth. So when they see EXP, they say, oh my gosh, especially agents that have an investing background, like a lot of us. So when I sat down and saw this and finally got outside of my ego and really let someone show me the information, I said, if you look at a business from a high level view looking down of an investor agent, right? So we're on invested agents right now. What does their business usually look like? Wealth creation on the right side, on their investing side. They have active income through flips, maybe wholesale deals. They have residual income through rentals, notes, and passive money lending. And they have the equity models from real estate ownership, right? Equity going up as the market goes up, principal pay down going down as their tenants pay down the property. And then on the sales side, they have an active income component only. They can sell a house. So they're missing the equity component and residual component on the agent side. So what EXP has done is it added the stock awards for the equity component and the revenue share model for the residual component. And I said, this is incredible. This company literally solved the problem for every real estate entrepreneur and created the first opportunity for us to have every single income stream, the way of creating income on both sides of the business. And I said, this is going to change the industry. And it has here 3.5 years later. And we're now the most successful, fastest growing brokerage ever in real estate history. But that's why they're coming. They're coming here to create wealth for themselves, not for their broker, not for their franchise owner. They're trying to do this for their family. And that's the difference. We work for ourselves, even though we're inside of EXP. The wealth creation opportunity is for us, the agents. That's why we're agent owned, agent grown.
Yeah, because for the first time ever, EXP gives the agent the ability to build their own exit strategy. Whatever that means for them, they'll define it. But
Yep.
They now have that option. It's still an option. They don't have to do it. I mean, the stock you get anyway, because you get it for production. But the revenue share, it's optional. Like if you don't care about that, don't recruit anyone. But for the smart agents that really understand the power of passive income and time, what that can look at over time and how it can grow, like they are focusing. And really, if you just had one capping agent, you got one capping agent a year for 5 years, like you're looking at a substantial passive income that maybe you're not going to be able to retire off of, but it's a big supplement to your income that can provide some extra options, whether it's college funds or helping you get a nicer house or taking care of some, if you got to take off for a period of time, like that's huge. or if you want to be a little bit more aggressive about it, going out there and recruiting 70 like you have, Connor, and then building a 1,300 agent plus team over 3-4 years. All of that is possible, and people have done more than that. People have done less than that, but you're in control. So, Connor, you have, you're one of the top 50 agents or so within EXP. I don't know, what is that, top 0.005% or something. True Leader, you go over the entire business model on Monday and Wednesday evenings.
Correct.
6 p.m. Central Standard Time, from A to Z, breaking down the entire model. The revenue share, the equity, the commission, all the tools. Like, you take folks in a little on a private tour of EXP World, showing them the training rooms, the broker rooms, like just a little crash course into KV Core. Talk about some of our preferred partners like Express Offers and our healthcare plan. So if folks want to see that live for themselves, they can go to the website below. It's been displayed this whole time, investedagents.com/team. And what you can do is actually select a private call. So, hey, if you want to talk to me, that's fine. Or if you want to chime in on Connor's live presentation, you can see the whole nuts and bolts, like everything live up front, and actually have the opportunity to ask questions at the end. So how have those, for someone who may be looking at like joining one of those live calls, what should they expect?
Yeah,
I mean, we get like 4 minutes, so maybe like a 60-second answer to that.
Yeah, I mean, it's the key to our success, guys. It's not just that you're going to get the information; it's that you get to use these tools when you come in. So a lot of people want to know why we're accelerating and passing people like they're sitting still on the top 100 influencers list. It's the live call system, guys. It's the ability for you guys to partner with us and the tools that we've created for you guys to help you grow your business, that you're not stuck sending a video. So I said this at the beginning, Chris, the reason why I didn't join for 2 years is because EXP agents were sending me videos. I wasn't watching the videos, or I'd watch them partially and I'd turn it off. So I never saw the value in it, because to me it said, someone send me a video, watch this on my time expense, and then tell me when you want to come make me money. So the difference in what we're doing here, why we're growing so quick compared to what most people are doing, is we're doing everything through live conversations, so we can look at people as a real human being, as a real goal set for them and their family. Not everybody's the same person. Some are seasoned in the business, been 20 years, some are brokers, some are team leaders, some are brand new agents, and everybody's got different goals. Everybody's in a different position in life. And the ability to do a live presentation numerous times a week for our agents to send to like this has been the big game changer for us, and why we're growing so quick. And this is why our agents grow quick as well, is they get to leverage this tool that other people in our company cannot, because it takes a lot of effort and energy to do this. But this is an option or an opportunity for our agents to use these calls to build their business. And it's what I've used to build my business all around the world. So it's allowed us to expand into all these different states and countries. So guys, if you come tonight, you're going to get to see, or tonight or any Monday or Wednesday, the information explained the way that I saw it, that changed my level of interest, because I wasn't interested in EXP when I had certain people trying to explain it to me, because they didn't do a really good job, just to be honest. When I saw the model explained from a true entrepreneur that knew how to leverage it in a different perspective, it clicked immediately, and I moved my license over here. I went to get a license and moved it over here immediately, and you can see the result of it. So the information that you get and who gives it to you can be the difference in your life changing. So make sure to come tonight, guys, or come to one of our presentations. Even if you've seen EXP's business model, I'd seen it 20 times. I joined the company and changed my life. Now, did you see it the way I saw it? You'll have to find out if you come tonight, and I'll show you a different way of looking at the business model. But this is why people are joining us.
Absolutely. We'll look forward to it. So, Connor, I'll see you next week in Dallas at the event that we're having with other EXP top leaders and Tony Robbins.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy. It's going to be a lot of fun. So look forward to seeing you there. You've been a phenomenal leader to our team, and look forward to the months and years of just exciting times ahead.
Well, I'm just waiting for you. You guys are well on your way to 1,000 agents yourself, and it's going to be a great journey. And I'm looking forward to seeing you hit that goal. And then in order for Chris to get there, a lot of you guys need to come in and work with us. And then for you guys to get there, we need to help you guys bring your agents in as well. So come on over to guys tonight and see what we're doing. Love to see you there, guys. And other than that, you got anything else for me, Chris? Or
that's it. Thank you so much, Connor.
All right, guys. Appreciate you guys. You guys have a blessed week. Okay, cool.